Oh, there we are.
Hey
Hey,
man, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I was literally like, did he get added live? What is going on? And you appeared.
Yeah. We got it.
We
Um,
got it. I'm going to do a quick intro to the show and then I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself to the audience. And I can't wait to get stuck in to talk about your music, which is a tune. Solo is a tune.
oh,
I'm like
nice man. Thank you,
obsessed.
thank you.
So, for those who are tuning in, I am Axel Hart. I'm a singer-songwriter from London. I only recently started this whole musical journey last year, releasing some music. My background actually is in chemistry. So I took a bit of a left turn into music, but I wanted to connect and talk to other musicians across the world. So we've had a great show so far. And today I'm joined by, oh, do I call you Donohue or do I call you Tom? I don't know.
Call me Tom, or call me Tom. For
Tom,
dog
okay.
talk, no, it's better if you call me Tom. Yeah, thank you.
Well, Tom, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining me and my blog today. For those who don't know who you are, give yourself an introduction, how long you've been doing music, and then we can dive in.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tom Donoghue. I'm from the west coast of Ireland in a city called Galway. I've been doing music like my whole life completely. But I only started really this year in terms of like gigging, putting myself out there, and on my original side of things. But like I grew up playing piano was where I started originally, and that was when I was a young kid. Well, not that young. I was about 7ish, I suppose, when I started doing it. And then just from there, I sort of moved on to different instruments and listening to different things, and it kind of all it's hard. I don't think back on it a lot too much. So like when I'm asked to, it's just strange. I don't remember specific things very much. I just remember sort of like going from instrument to instrument and song to song and all these different kind of things, you know.
Right. So,
Yeah.
so you started quite young. What made you take the leap to actually release music for the first time? Was there anything that triggered that
Um.
situation?
No, I mean it was sort of always coming, because like the last 3-4 years I've been writing like loads. I write almost every day music. I just never, because I knew I was so I moved to Manchester where I am now. I moved in September of last year, and I knew I wasn't going to do it before then. And then once I got to Manchester, the thing really, like the last few years I've been recording like a load, but I didn't I'm not recording, sorry. I've been writing a load, and I've been kept writing and writing, but I never, I didn't do much recording really in Galway. I'd practice, like I'd practice it, but I never really was doing it in the sense of like getting songs completed. Whereas once I came here, that was like basically I did that even more than I did writing. I just went full throttle into just recording over and over and over again. And now I do have like a good sort of catalog of songs on my computer. And
Right.
they're still stacking up, and they keep stacking up, you know, every day, and I'm working on that. So I suppose what made me release though, now going back to your question, is I needed to get a Spotify up there really, because I'm gigging now. That's
Yes.
my main ambition, is to gig really. I want to just gig as much as possible throughout the summer, wherever I can. And if I have, you know, I need to have the social side of it, up to
Yeah.
scratch. So my Instagram and like a Facebook page, and my Spotify, I think. But I did also want to show people, you know, the reason I chose that song out of the other songs I have is just because I think it's a good first impression of me as an artist. It's not
Mm.
necessarily like, I wouldn't by any stretch call it like my best song. I do, like, at the same time, really love it as a song, but it's very, there's just a lot of energy, and because I recorded all the instruments on it myself and produced it myself and stuff, because it's kind of got that side of things. It's like people watching or people listening, sorry, they kind of like, they can kind of get what I do.
Right.
And
Right.
it's I sort of wanted to show people that I have potential, is what I did. I intentionally wanted to make people think, oh, he has potential. That's
Yeah.
like
What
what I was thinking of doing.
you know what? Listening to, if this is not your best song, I can't wait to see what's next, because this is a great first track. Like genuinely, not because we're talking live. Like genuinely, it's such a great song, and it sounds like an artist that's been making that style of music for years. So I was very surprised that this was like your first entry into music. I love the sort of funk inspiration. Was who inspired you growing up to create that sort of
Yeah,
style of music
there's been
today?
loads of different artists. Yeah, there's that song's very James Brown. James Brown's always been huge for me, and there's also I sort of have like a big three artists for me. It has been Stevie Wonder. When I was like a teenager, I was really, really into Stevie, and then I got into D'Angelo after Stevie. Do you know D'Angelo? Sort of, he's a '90s R&B guy, huge for me. And then there was Prince after D'Angelo, and Prince was probably the biggest of the three of them. And they're all funk, soul, R&B. So that's kind of where that style comes from. For me, they're my biggest inspirations.
Yes. We have a question. Will you gig in Galloway? That's from
that's from McDara Griffin. I know McDara Griffin very, very well. Yeah, I will, McDara. I'm sure I will. You can always ask me on my DMs as well if you prefer. But yeah.
So gigging is. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to just ask on that question of gigging, like that's a huge, you can tell that's what you enjoy doing because you've shared a couple of clips on your socials, and you're a real performer. I think a lot of the times, I mean, I personally find that part the most difficult. I enjoy it, but it's really hard to keep a crowd entertained. Where has that experience come from for you?
I don't know. Gigging, like performing, has always been my favorite side to it completely. I don't know specifically because the weird thing is it's never something that I like. It's never something that I like worked on specifically. Like whereas, I worked on my songwriting, I worked on my production, and I worked on my like instrumental techniques, stuff like that. But I never felt the need to work on performing. It was like once I got up there was just a whole new sort of. I just felt an energy in myself that I don't feel no matter what. I don't feel in any other kind of aspects of life. It's strange. It's a really undescribable sort of feeling for me. But it's something. It's something. Yeah, it's hard to put into words. But yeah, it's my favorite part of it. It's just like basically when I'm on stage, I get this buzz of energy all the time, and it seems to stay, for the whole performance, and that's I don't know where it came from though. Oh
no, it's really cool. So you recently performed at the Zombie Shack as well with a couple of other opening acts. How was that experience for you?
That was incredible. Yeah, that was that was Friday night, just a couple of days ago. So basically for that, that was great. The story with that was Zombie Shack is it's a gig, just it's a venue just up the road here in Manchester, and I'd been doing a couple of other gigs beforehand, and all of my friends do gigs as well all throughout Manchester, and we generally go through promoters. There's like gig promoters in Manchester that you send them your music, and then they're like, oh, we'll put you on here and here and here and here, and so I did that, but I was a bit like disillusioned, to be honest, with the way that they treat the performers, because first of all, you don't get paid. They never pay you anything. They think they're giving you like here's your big shot, so they don't pay you any money. And then also they charge the ticket sales, all over town. They're like £7+ all the time, which isn't great for students. Like I did a support act for my first gig, and it was £11 the tickets. Like no one wants to pay £11 to hear people they don't know. So what I did anyways for this one on Friday night is I hired out the venue myself, so as if I was the promoter as well. So I went in there, I paid for the venue to use it, I paid for the sound engineer, and then I went just looking around town trying to get support acts that were in my style, but they weren't from the same college as me, because then I knew everyone could bring in their own demographic and the ticket sales would go well. And basically I did that. I worked on that for a few weeks, and it ended up going really well, like even better than I expected, and it was an incredible night because I also, I got to perform for people, which is obviously the best side of everything, but I like got to connect, with all these different people, because I didn't even necessarily. Everyone brought their own people, which is the best side of it. So like the first support I brought down all the people, the second support I brought down all the people, I brought down all my people. They all get to meet. I get to meet all of them, and it was just perfect. So it was it felt like a community, Which is on all the other gigs. First of all, the ticket sales goes well because the ticket prices are so high. Right. But when you do that, I don't know, because it's run by students are gonna like it more, I feel, at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, I generally I could have a whole rant about gig promoters, because I think it's down in London. Crazy. it's the same thing. You
Yeah.
just get like a portion. You're not supporting the acts actually buying the tickets through like a gig promoter. And also when you have loads of acts performing, even the headliner has like the worst slot because it's like
Yeah.
so late and no one's gonna.
They all just leave. Exactly. That was the thing
Yeah,
when I did the gig. Like my friends came down to support me, and then they just left for the headliner, which is like, you know, of course
yeah,
I understand that and everything, but that happens all the time. So it's like you
exactly.
don't want it. It's like when I saw that, I was like, I hope I don't get offered a headline act. Almost, I was like, hopefully
Right.
that I get the support. I'd rather that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, props to you for kind of taking that leap to organize an event. That's not also
Yeah,
that's
it
a
was.
whole
It was. I
task
mean,
in
it
itself.
was nerve wracking because
Yeah,
I didn't know what happened, and also when I actually released the ticket thing, like there was only like a few of my friends bought tickets, but the day of the gig, then like a ton of tickets sold, and a load of people bought on the door and stuff, just because of word of mouth and um, because of like you know, it had become a thing between
yeah.
the different colleges to a small extent, just because it was a community, you know. But anyway, yeah, that was an amazing night. I loved that. That was an
No,
amazing night.
that's amazing. We did have a question, I think, from Lydia. Who is Solo about? Is it about her? Because why did she ask that
Is that about
question?
her? Yeah, Lydia. It's about you, Lydia. There you go. Yeah, she's my friend as well. Yeah, I'll tell her it's about her. Yeah,
Let her believe it.
not much of a love song though, to be honest with you. But yeah.
How would you describe Solo as a track? Like, how would you describe that to somebody who hasn't
It's
heard it?
just sort of, it's just cocky, you know. It's just bravado, but that's what I was going for, you know. It's it's just that was it. I was just trying to showcase like that energy I talk about live. It
Yeah.
was I was trying to put that in a track. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm just also reading the comments. Sorry if you got rinsed, Lydia. You also, I've seen on your profile, you did a song called She Sells West. I think it was just jamming and it's a piece
Oh
that
yeah,
you.
that was the thing. Yeah. Well, that was I just kind of wanted to put some stuff on Insta. I like that song though. I thought
Yeah,
some people want me to
it,
record it. Yeah.
it, it sounds amazing. Is that the kind of style like you can vary? Is that what you enjoy
Yeah, I
doing,
do.
or do you think you're going to drive?
Um, I like in my actual live set, I do have a number of like slow songs and stuff. So I do write them as well. That and like that's an
Right.
example of it. It's very like it's generally like piano style and melodic. And
Nice.
I would definitely if I ever do like an EP, which I'm sure I will, and an album, which I'm sure I will. Like there'll be stuff like that in there. At the minute, I don't want to release that kind of material as a single, just because
Yes.
it's just more album material for me,
Yeah.
actually, you know.
No, I agree. I agree. For a performance, I think it's nice maybe for an acoustic set, but not for a live gig where you want really people to be hyped alongside yourself. Are we going to see any music videos? I know that's a huge pressure.
Music videos.
Yeah.
A couple of the people I work with have been telling me to get that sorted. I haven't actually recorded one yet, to be honest with you, but what I was planning more of doing like a live session, like for something like solo. But
Yes.
the only thing is it's just I personally, and I get why like a lot of artist managers and stuff want you to make a video just to kind of bolster your online presence, but there's a lot of work that goes into music video, and when like you put it, YouTube's a strange one. Like when you put it on YouTube for the first time, not many people are going to see it, and like you have to
Mhm.
realize that. And I don't know if I want to put that much effort into a music video when I
Right.
know that it's not going to be particular, when that's not going to be taken in. To me, it's something more I do down the line, you know.
Yeah.
But
No, that's
like
fair.
it's very intriguing. Like it's something I would love to do and get creative with it at the same time. Like I do, and a couple of my friends have done them, and I completely get why they put them out there.
Yeah.
That's just me at the minute, because I always feel as well, to be honest with you, with like everything career wise, I feel like all I want to do is just record and rehearse with my band. That's kind of it. It seems like all of these other side things for the career at the minute, they just like they
Yeah.
phase me a little, because I just feel like I need to get the fundamental stuff down. I always keep like
Yeah.
working on that, you know.
It's a lot of pressure. I think people forget that independent artists have to wear so many different hats. Like you have to
Yeah.
think about marketing, you have to think about gigs, you have to think about videos and your socials, like you mentioned. Have you felt that pressure? I know this is your first release. Like,
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I like it though. I like it kind of being stretched, because you just you feel it's a challenge. You know, it's a nice challenge, because it does all relate to. if you can keep it real, you know, and keep it like actually associated with how you think about yourself as an artist, then yeah, then I don't mind it. But it is at times stressful, and especially like when you're in a it means when you're in a mood to not work, you know, when you have those days you're like, I just don't feel like working today, the fact that you have all of those things as well, that can kind of like make it a bit worse. But in the main, like 95% of the time, I just think it's a cool challenge, really.
Yeah. I think it's socials and videos give you the space to do something really unique, because music is so oversaturated. There's so many artists coming left, right, and center, and it's a nice way to kind of put the stamp on it and showcase who you are. A lot of people will really be there to support you as a person as well as your music. So I think it's a great opportunity. Have you thought about what your future holds? Now, you mentioned EPs, an album. Do you have things in the pipeline that you're thinking
no, I don't
about?
have things in the pipeline. I try to keep it. I've done that before, like, but I don't work well with thinking in the future. I try to keep like everything I'm doing very present. I'm not going to release an EP, I don't think, for a while, or an album. I think if I'm just thinking a little bit in the future, just as in months, like I think I'll just keep at singles, and gigging is really what I want to do at the minute. Like that's what I have in my head. Just I'll release the occasional single on Spotify when I feel like there's a buzz for it, and then but mainly I want to gig as much as possible and get on the best stages I can this summer, which is very doable. You know, there's so many opportunities in the UK for getting like good gigs as an unsigned artist. It's great. Like I've been for the last 2 weeks I've been, you know, scouring the internet for them, and I've just gotten so many contacts for like festivals and stuff, and it's just like it's great. It does feel very, very promising. So I feel like that's the biggest thing for me. But also I do want to work on social media content too a bit. Oh, excuse me, sorry, my back there.
What's
work on social media content a bit as well.
Yeah. So what kind of social media content are you thinking about? Maybe behind the scenes to certain things, recording process?
That's all. But I think more just something that's like catching to your eye and your ear. You know, eye catching first of all. Something that like when you, because that's all it's about. It's just like you scroll, you just want to look at that, and then you hook them in with their ear. So that's kind of what I think about. It is slight, and then at the same time, I'd want it to be you know, artistic to some extent, you know, even though that can be a challenging one on socials, but you know, a good challenge at the same time. So that's one of the things.
Well, I'll be staying tuned to see what you put out. It's the music is there. I think that's fantastic. So it'll be cool to see what you do on your socials.
Thank you.
You mentioned your band as well. How long have you been playing with your band, and who are they? Who are the members?
Actually, just like the last probably like 3 months we've been playing to get this rehearsing together, because they all go to college with me. I go to a college called RNCM, the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester, and they have a pop course there, and it's so they're all so good. So I've got in my band I've got a drummer and guitar player who they're called Jake and Connor. They both are like kind of session musician vibes. They're multi-talented too, though. But that's kind of their career side of things. And then I have my bass player, a guy called Max Nemo. He goes by his stage name, and my keys player Freddie. They're both like artists like me as well, and they just kind of help out with my band, and I'll do the same for their band and stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is cool. And you said about venues. What is like the dream venue that you're hoping to play?
Dream venue.
Yeah.
That's a true. Well, that's kind of, to be honest, venues to me is sort of like how I would gauge success. I think as an artist, it's not really like anything numerical. It wouldn't be like money or stream or anything like that. I think it would be where I'm playing. So I suppose really it's like stadiums. You know what I mean? Like if you could play. So what that is what it is to me. You know, like if you can play it. The biggest kind of crowds, that is success to me. But in terms of my dream venue, I suppose it probably wouldn't be a stadium, just because they're probably very unreliable to an extent, or just very tricky to manage. It would probably be places like I'm not sure. I recently went down to London to see Sting. I saw Sting. He was playing live in the London Palladium, it's like a theatre and a music venue and stuff, and it's just the sound is incredible, and there's so much control over the stage and everything. So probably places like that. And I saw last night, I saw James Blake down at the,
Oh,
yeah. I saw, did you like James Blake?
I love James Blake.
Yeah. I saw him at the Apollo in Manchester, the O2 Apollo. That's a similar kind of vibe. Like it's just it's mid-sized, and there's just because it's mid-sized. There's so much control over the sound, over the visuals, and the lighting and everything. So they're probably my kind of
Yeah.
my dream venues. Yeah.
One day you can put that out in the atmosphere. It'll be soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So before we go, Solo, if anyone is watching this back on YouTube, is out now on all streaming platforms. It's a really, really cool song. So if you are watching back, please do go check that out. What can you say? Maybe do you want to give anyone a shout out or any kind of updates of what people can expect? Any upcoming gigs also?
I do have a gig for anyone in Manchester that's going to see this. I have a gig on Wednesday night down in a place in the northern quarter called 33 Oldham Street, and it's something that's being run with the college, this one. So they've got like four other acts from the college going to be playing that night. That's going to be really exciting. And then after that, I've got things that I'm sort of sorting out, and then I'm going to put them all out there. I'm going to put them all out there in the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Are you going to gig down in London anytime soon?
I actually am gigging in London in August, and then I've confirmed for August in a place called the Bedford. Do you know? Have you heard of the Bedford?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm playing the Bedford in August, and then I've got a few other things like that. Hopefully, are going to come through for like June and July. But yeah, I've got one confirmed for London. Yeah, so I'll let you know when I'm there.
Amazing. Yes, please do.
Yeah,
please
absolutely,
do.
Absolutely.
Well, it was lovely chatting to you. I know you're going to support more musicians, which is an amazing thing. So yeah, where can we find you? What are your social handles and
my socials? Yeah, it's Donohue _is_alive. That's where you can get me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tom. It was a pleasure talking to you, and congratulations on this incredible release.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it, man.
Cool. Take care.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.